Okay, let's kick things off. Early 2021, Qalyubia, Egypt.
Mm.
Try and picture it. A small working-class village. The morning's probably just starting, maybe some canal fog. You hear distant sounds. Pretty typical.
Mm-hmm. Quite normal, until it wasn't.
Exactly. Suddenly, everything shifts. Near the Saba drainage stream that's, a local canal there, locals stumble upon something just horrifying.
Yeah, it's visually arresting. Like you said, it wasn't even a whole body, just a part of a human torso.
Just a segment, cut, discarded. It screams foul play immediately.
Absolutely. And the condition, well, it showed significant decomposition. This person hadn't just died. They'd been missing for weeks, maybe longer.
Wow. In a place like Qalyubia, that kind of calculated violence must have sent shockwaves.
Oh, absolutely terrifying for a tight-knit community. But, the police, they had a suspect in mind almost instantly.
Because there was only one person missing fitting that general time frame.
Precisely. The description matched the only major missing person case, a man named Ayman.
Ayman. He's central to this whole deep dive. And our mission today isn't just about how he died, but about how his life, his actual identity, was sort of turned against him.
Right.
He wasn't just some guy who committed crimes. He had this official designation under Egyptian law, registered risk. Waynayim.
That label is absolutely key. We need to understand it.
Yeah, what does that actually mean? Because it sounds like it became the very thing his killers used to hide behind.
It's crucial. Registered risk isn't just a street name. It's a formal police designation for high-level repeat offenders. It means surveillance, sure, but maybe more importantly, social death.
Social death? How so?
Well, the police track you, obviously,
Yeah.
but the community, they basically write you off. Complete alienation. Ayman was this label. He started young, back in Minya, early 90s.
What kind of crimes?
Robbery, serious assault, often with blades, knives, swords, that sort of thing. His life was this cycle. Prison, get out, say you'll change, then relapse almost immediately.
Just operating totally outside the norms.
Yeah.
And then he meets Zeinab Al-Arga in '98.
Zeinab. His match, in a very dark way, perhaps. She wasn't exactly clean herself. History of assault, fighting.
Right, didn't she get her nickname Al-Arga the Lame from a sword injury in a fight?
That's the story, yes. A severe leg injury. But here's the really interesting psychological bit. Her attitude towards Ayman's registered risk status?
She wasn't ashamed.
Ashamed. No, quite the opposite. Fiercely proud. Like it was this badge of honor, this source of power and intimidation that, they shared.
It's a unique dynamic. Okay, let's jump forward. 2017. Their daughter gets married.
Right. She marries Mohamed. He's much younger, only 20 at the time. And he's basically Ayman's protege, met him working the carnival circuit.
So already a pretty tangled, intense family web there.
Definitely. And then things really take a turn in early 2021. The daughter dies reportedly natural causes. That's the official line.
And Ayman and Zeinab decide to move in with Mohamed into the daughter's apartment.
Exactly. They move into her place in Qalyubia. And what unfolds over the next 5 months is just sheer chaos.
Paint a picture of that household for us.
Yeah.
Because it sounds like more than just arguments. It sounds like a pressure cooker.
It was a completely toxic ecosystem built around Ayman's absolute control. Financially, for instance.
How so?
Every single pound earned from their carnival rides every day had to go straight to Ayman. He decided who got what.
Okay, so total financial control. And that likely spilled over.
Oh, constantly. The fights between him and Zeinab weren't just shouting matches. They were loud, daily, and often got intensely physical.
Violent.
And the neighbors must have heard all this, day in, day out. Did they try to do anything?
They did initially, tried to intervene, mediate. But Ayman, well, he was a registered risk. Intimidating, volatile. He aggressively shut them down, threatened them.
So they backed off.
Completely. The whole community basically made a pact. Ignore that house. Total isolation. And that isolation, that's critical. It removed any potential witnesses, any outside check on what was happening inside those walls.
That silence from the outside, that isolation, it really paves the way for what happens next, doesn't it? It does, because after 5 months of this nonstop volatility, suddenly, silence.
Ayman disappears. But it's not like there's a final dramatic fight heard. Just quiet. The daily explosions stop.
Eerie quiet. And when neighbors eventually asked Zeinab, maybe cautiously, where Ayman was...
What did she say?
Oh, very casually. He traveled for work. Which, given Ayman's lifestyle, his criminal history, actually sounded plausible.
Plausible enough that the neighbors, already scared and wanting nothing to do with them, just accepted it.
They did. They didn't push it. And here's where that registered risk status becomes the perfect cover.
How so?
For a month and a half, think about that, 6 weeks, neither Zeinab nor Mohamed reports him missing. No police report, no calls to family, nothing. They just carry on.
Working the carnival rides, going about their business like nothing happened.
Exactly, acting completely normal. Which raises the question, why didn't the police notice sooner? A registered risk vanishes. Surely that triggers something.
You'd think so.
Well, it did, but not in the way you'd expect, because of the label. A detective did notice Ayman wasn't at the local carnival, but the immediate assumption...
He's off committing a crime somewhere else.
Bingo. His own reputation provided the initial alibi. They figured he'd just moved on to his next illicit venture. The system designed to watch him inadvertently helped hide his death.
So his own status blinded the police at first. When did they start suspecting something was actually wrong?
It wasn't until they started some routine surveillance on Zeinab and Mohamed, just standard procedure when a registered risk goes off radar. They seemed normal, riding Ayman's motorcycle together to the carnival.
Keeping up appearances.
Totally. But behind the scenes, checks confirmed. Ayman hadn't left Qalyubia. He hadn't gone through any checkpoints, hadn't surfaced anywhere else. He was still somewhere nearby.
Okay, so now the police are thinking, he's definitely still here. The neighbors reported months of horrific fights.
Right. And now there's this sudden, total silence from the house. The pieces start clicking into place. They knew it was a volatile situation, and now the main source of that volatility is missing, but definitely not gone far.
And then, boom, the torso.
That discovery in the sawbust stream, it's the catalyst. Ayman's the only missing person it could realistically be. The circumstantial evidence slams right onto their doorstep.
So they bring Zeinab in.
Yes. And by this point, news of the body part had, spread like wildfire through the small village. The pressure was immense, public speculation, police focus.
And she breaks.
Almost immediately. Collapses under questioning, confesses everything, killing Ayman about 6 weeks earlier with Mohamed's help.
Okay, the motive. Why murder? Why not just leave?
Yeah.
Especially if he was so awful.
Control, freedom, and yes, money. Zeinab wanted out from his violence, his grip on the finances, but it was colder than just escape.
Colder how?
They knew, consciously knew, that because he was a registered risk, his disappearance wouldn't raise too many alarms. People would just assume he met a violent end somewhere else, maybe in a deal gone wrong, or a fight.
So they use his own identity against him as their built-in excuse.
Precisely. It gave them plausible deniability. And the planning wasn't spur-of-the-moment rage. They'd been plotting this during those 5 chaotic months, meticulously.
What was the actual plan? How did they do it?
It was chillingly methodical. They waited for their routine returning from the carnival one evening. Zeinab took the first step.
Which was?
Drugging him. Heavily. Sleeping pills mixed into his food, his drink, enough to completely incapacitate him.
And once he was unconscious?
They killed him. Zeinab confessed she was the main one, the primary actor in the killing itself.
And then the disposal. That speaks volumes about their mindset.
It really does. Dismemberment into 3 parts. Head, upper body, lower body. Each part sealed carefully in plastic bags.
Why 3 parts? Just efficiency.
Probably to make disposal easier, less conspicuous. And they timed it perfectly those dead hours just before dawn. The village is asleep, isolated.
How long did the disposal take?
Less than 3 hours, start to finish. They scattered the 3 bags in different remote spots, canals, ditches, but all within the village area. Then back home, clean up.
And back to work the next day.
Back to the carnival the very next day, like nothing had happened.
That speed, the immediate return to normalcy, it's profoundly disturbing. But then Mohamed talks, and the story gets another layer, right?
It does. We assume Ayman was the sole monster, the controller. But Mohamed, he points the finger squarely at Zeinab.
Saying she was the manipulative one.
Exactly. He claimed she constantly provoked Ayman, intentionally fueled the fights, maybe to keep up that intimidating registered risk image she was apparently so proud of, that she wasn't just a victim of the abuse, but an active participant in cultivating that dangerous persona.
So according to Mohamed, she was using Ayman's reputation too. Wow. So
Right.
What did he say when she first suggested murder?
He says he refused, flat out. Wanted no part of it. He just wanted out of the whole situation.
But she didn't let him walk away.
Not according to him. She gave him this horrifying ultimatum, basically. Help me kill Ayman, or I will kill you, and I'll pin it on Ayman. His registered risk status makes him the perfect fall guy.
So she threatened to use Ayman's reputation to frame him for Mohammed's murder if he didn't cooperate in Ayman's actual murder.
That's the claim. An impossible choice. Help kill his father-in-law or be killed himself and have his father-in-law blamed? He chose to help kill Ayman.
So Ayman's carefully cultivated image of power and danger ultimately became his biggest vulnerability. It made him disposable even to his own family, provided the perfect cover.
It really did. And the forensics backed it all up. The body parts were found where they said the method matched. But maybe the most chilling detail investigators uncovered:
What's that?
the timing of the conspiracy. Evidence suggested the plot wasn't born out of 5 months of escalating fights. It was hatched the very first day they moved into that apartment.
The day they arrived. They planned it from the start.
That's what the evidence pointed towards. A cold, calculated decision made on day one, just waiting for the right moment.
So just to recap the core elements here. We have this environment of controlled chaos, deliberately isolated. We have a victim whose official criminal status, registered risk, ironically becomes his killer's shield. And then this incredibly cold, methodical execution and disposal.
Leading ultimately to the death penalty for both Zeinab Al-Arga and Mohamed.
It really makes you think about identity control. Ayman built this fearsome reputation, maybe for survival, maybe for power. Zeinab seemed to feed off it, even be proud of it.
But that exact identity, that label, became the very thing that made his murder easier to conceal. When he vanished, the assumption wasn't intimate betrayal. It was just, well, that's what happens to guys like him. The police thought it, the neighbors probably thought it.
Which leaves us, and you, with a final thought to wrestle with. Was Ayman killed simply because he was a violent man? Or was his fearsome reputation actually the key ingredient that made him the easiest target for someone perhaps even more dangerously calculating? In that house, who was the real registered risk, and what does this case tell us about how easily a public image, even a terrifying one, can be turned into the perfect murder weapon?